started. It's okay. It's okay. I've started. Um, I've started again. Let me get the link. I just sent you the link. Hello. 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 Okay. So we're good to go. So who is here? Sorry for the delay. We had to cut and start again. And I'm so excited for tonight. Let's get this started. Where are my people? Can you hear me? Confirm you can hear me. So excited. Okay, so tonight we are taking a wrap to our webinar for the confused wives. And all we are doing today is communication, conflict resolution, intimacy, question and answers. Those are what we are doing tonight. So I want to confirm that you can hear me. Say something in the chat box if you can hear me, please. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. Thank you. Favor, please. Thank you. So, what we're covering today is communication, conflict resolution, intimacy. We'll take our question and our answer, and then my amazing husband will also come and take us on the roles and responsibilities of a husband. It's going to go down today. I'm excited, most especially for communication and conflict resolution. Now, under communication, we are going to handle why couples stop talking. We will look at listening. We'll look at respectful disagreement. We look at timing. We'll also look at words that heal and words that destroy. And we will look at conflict resolution. Like we talked about yesterday, that you are having conflict in your marriage, that you're having disagreements in your marriage, does not mean that anything is wrong in your marriage. The point is not that there is a disagreement. The point is, how is the disagreement being dealt with? How do you resolve this disagreement? And if you remember yesterday, we said that sorry is not enough. Anytime that there is an issue and the only way that a couple solves that issue is by saying sorry, it's not enough, right? There has to be conflict resolution methods so that the person who is receiving sorry does not get wearied, okay? And then we had a lot recap. I want us to recap. What did you get yesterday? I'm looking at the chat box. What did we get yesterday? What did we get yesterday? Yes. What one thing you learned yesterday? Someone said they learned that she shouldn't be judging her marriage from the ideal situation, but from where they started from and how much progress they have made, and that's so beautiful. I hope yesterday was so good. Today, conflict and communication. So why couples stop communicating? Why do couples stop communicating? Fear of conflict. Fear of conflict is a big deal when you feel that a healthy marriage is a marriage without conflict. A lot of us feel like that. If we are not disagreeing, that means that things are okay. No, in fact, like we said yesterday, if you are not disagreeing on issues, it means that someone is pretending, someone is not talking, someone is not okay. So either that the marriage is running on one person or both parties are not, being themselves, because the people you grew up with, you still have misunderstanding, you still have issues with them, and you solve it. And these issues are not things that maybe there's an issue and you cut off the relationship. No, when there's an issue, you sit on the relationship and you deal with the issue. You don't cut off the relationship. So fear of conflict. And where does fear of conflict come from? It comes especially from our background. If we grew up in a place where you were not allowed to express yourself, there were baggages, there were things that are coming from, or you grew up in a home, there is a lot, like a lot, I don't want to use the word cantankerous, but there was a lot of issues. You try to, fly. You try to take flight. You try to run away from these issues. I When I started analyzing myself as a person, I understood that I am someone who avoids conflict. I do that a lot, and that's self-awareness. So you have to be aware of who you are. So fear of conflict. Number two, pass hurt unaddressed. If this one, see, there is no way there will be safety and communication when the past issues have not been addressed, especially in that marriage. If there are some things that are unaddressed that you people have swept under the carpet, you will not feel safe with each other, and you're not going to address issues. They will just keep coming, and you keep piling them under the carpet until one day both of you cannot take it. And then they say we have gotten to a point of irreconcilable differences. But these differences were things that we would have started on time to start to deal with. Then feeling unheard, especially for us women. Anytime you feel that no matter what you say, they will not hear you, you don't want to talk, because for you there is no point in talking, because if I say it, he's still not going to hear me, so why should I talk? Number four is business and distraction. You're talking to someone and they are looking at their phone, they are watching a skit, or they are doing something else. This one is really big, but sometimes we don't see that it is big. I'll tell you a story. This evening I was making our dinner before we start this session, and my husband came. I knew he wanted to give me attention, so he came to the kitchen and he hugged me. I was actually frying egg, and like eggs we use for our dinner. I knew that there was egg on fire. You know how fragile an egg can be. But here is my spouse who wants my attention. So one thing I could do is to, be listening to him or be giving me attention while I'm frying the egg, or I just give him a minute attention and then get back to him. So what I did was that I hugged him for a minute, and then he said what he wanted to say. He made a short prayer for me, and then I rushed off to continue. So that stopping to give attention to your spouse is really, really important. Whatever you are doing, however busy you are, and your husband or your spouse wants your attention, even if you want to keep on doing it like I did in my own case when I was cooking, just stop, look at them, give them attention, even if it's 1 minute, 2 minutes. Then you cannot tell them you have something you're doing, you go back to it. Don't say, don't you see what I am doing, don't you see that I am busy? No, stop, give them attention no matter how small it is, then you can continue. Then another challenge is different communication styles. There are communication styles, we don't talk the same, even if we speak the same English, but our communication styles differ, and we're going to look at these communication styles. And then resentment. Kai, resentment. When you have anger, when you have bitterness, when you have issues that are not dealt with, like you can't start today when there are years of loads of things that I've not dealt with that you need to deal with. So these are things that cause couples to stop communicating, and communication is the lifeblood of every relationship. Communication is. So let's look at listening skills that rebuild trust. There is no more trust in a marriage. Communication has broken down. What do you do to build up trust again? Number one, listen to understand and not to reply. Hmm. Anytime you are listening to reply, trust me, you are not hearing what they are saying, because as they are talking, you are thinking what you will tell them. You're not really understanding how they are feeling concerning that thing. You just want to, it's always like counter attack or defense. You did this and you're saying this is why I did it. So you are not even understanding why they are saying what you did and how what you have done is even affecting them. So you need to listen to understand and not to reply. And I tell you, I used to be here. I used to be here and I grew out of it. And if I grew out of it and I got better, I know that you can also get better. So when your spouse is talking to you, please don't listen to reply. And how you will know you are not listening to reply is that when they are done talking, okay, the number two thing is to reflect before responding. So if your husband comes to you and says that you are always cooking, or I feel you're always cooking late, why are you always cooking late? I want it that whenever I come back home, food is ready. You don't say, me too, I'm working, I've been busy at home. That's defense. Okay, in as much as he attacked you, what you can do is to reflect, is to say back what they have told you. You say, honey, do you mean that you would like your food to be ready before you come back home? How does this mean? So you try to reflect what he's saying back so that you'll be sure you understood. Is this thing I'm saying, what is this thing I heard and understood what you are saying? They can now say, yes, that's what I'm saying. Then you can now watch your body language. This the third step. Are you angry? Are you agitated? Are you shrinking? Remember we say that wise women, we don't shrink. Radiant wives, we don't shrink. We don't get angry. We don't fly off the handle. Okay, you watch your body language to ensure that your body language is in tandem with the response you want to give. And then finally you ask, you don't assume. So if you ask questions and you do all of these four steps, you would have gotten feedback. At the beginning you might feel like they are attacking you, even if what they said came out as attack. But by the time you reflect, you watch your body language, you ask again, you would have understood what the person means. And even if they were attacking you, you would now get a time, like you cool down. There was this story that someone told that a couple have always been having issues. So the woman went to the mom to ask, what do I do? The mom said, when your husband comes back, put water in your mouth. Don't remove that water until both of you have eaten and gone to bed. And then that was what he did. No matter what she did, no matter what the husband said, the water was in her mouth. She couldn't say anything. And that was how it died down. Because sometimes we learn about timing. What you need to do at a particular point in time is not to respond. Before we go to four communication style, I want to tell us one of the things that happen to us that men don't understand. Men see it as nagging, and men see it as defensiveness. For example, your husband comes back and he says that why is my food not ready? At that point, what he's asking for is not explanation. Even if what he's asking is why, the timing is wrong to explain. Is very, very wrong, because emotion is high. He's not thinking logically. His emotions that is driving him. If you start explaining there was traffic, I had to go to market, I've been busy, I've done this, I tell you, it will escalate the matter. So when the emotions are high, don't explain. Even when you are right, if you explain, it will mean nagging to him. It will mean that you're being defensive, right? That time he is asking you, Mama, what you can do is to just either keep quiet or apologize. Honey, I'm sorry I'm making this food ready, please. I'm sorry this food is getting late. Just give me a few minutes, I'll finish. Don't explain. It's timing. Don't explain. Don't explain. Afterwards, when the emotions are down, you can come back and say, honey, why I made the food late is because so 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 and so happened. So 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 and so happened. He's fine at that point and he will understand you. Explain at that point of high emotions will amount to either fight, to either things that you don't like, you will say you don't take responsibility, or that you are giving excuse. In fact, that's one way that he will interpret it, that you're giving an excuse. So I ask you something, you always have an excuse, you always have an excuse. That excuse is talking about is that that explanation came at the wrong time. It's not that you are incorrect or you are wrong, it's just that you are explaining at the wrong time. And what made it the wrong time? It is because his emotions are high and he's not understanding you at that point. So let's look at four communication styles. Number one, passive style. You stay quiet to keep peace. You don't say what it is that is worrying you. Your husband has gone and you feel he has squandered money and you don't talk about it. Or when he brings it up, he said they said we should submit. Oh, I'm not going to say anything because there is an imaginary peace you want to keep. You are not expressing yourself. There is no relationship that you can build when you are passive, when you are not talking about how you're feeling. And sometimes it is the way you have been treated that can push you to become passive. Let's say you have resentment. When you talk, you are not being heard. When you talk, it will be used against you. When you talk, he will not act on it. You know, you feel like there is no need to talk. However, there's a need to talk because your talking is also making him to understand who you are. So passive communication style is not good for any marriage, not to even talk of relationship, not for any relationship, not to talk of marriage. Number two is aggressive. This person is the person that is shouting. This person is the person that is expressing themselves with passion. You know, it's good to express yourself, but it's also good to respect people when you're expressing yourself. So you don't blame people, you don't demand, you don't accuse, you don't dominate. There are people when you are talking with them, they don't allow you to talk. They don't allow you to talk. And if you're talking with an aggressive person, you have to, if you're not emotionally mature, you respond in two ways. Either you go passive, you keep quiet, and you allow the person to have their leeway. They talk one way, they are done. They make conclusion, everything is done. Everybody goes. They have pushed you to become passive. Or if you can't take it, you become aggressive too. They are talking, you're talking, they are talking, you're talking, they are talking, you're talking. And let me tell you, if you go into passive communication style or aggressive communication style because your spouse is aggressive, to you it looks right, but it doesn't look, it's not correct, it's not the right response to give. Okay, so you don't go aggressive because they're aggressive, you don't also go passive because they are passive. Then the next one is passive aggressive. In this one is that you're resisting indirectly, you're using silent treatment, you're using sarcasm, you're using backhanded compliments, like, what for me? Oh, fine, let's be going now. Do I have a choice? Those kind of things. You are passive aggressive. That's also not a good communication style. And then number four is assertive. This is our goal. We have to be assertive. And what does it mean to be assertive? What it means to be assertive is that you state your need, you state your feeling, you do that honestly, you do that respectfully, and you honor the person, you also allow the person to talk. Let me role play this thing for you. For example, my husband did something that I did not like, okay, and I want to talk to him concerning it. I'll come to him and say, sir, in the morning when we were about to go to church, I felt so bad. There was something you did that didn't come out well to me. It made me feel so lonely. And you now ask, what is it? I said, when we were about to go, you were shouting at me, you were asking me to hurry up, and you know that I woke up very early even before you. I made breakfast, I made this, I made that. It made me think that the things that I do in this house, that they go unnoticed. You see how I expressed myself and my need for the things that I want. I did not come to accuse and say, you don't appreciate the work I do. I said I feel that the work I do is not appreciated. So it's giving the person room to talk. It's giving the person room to say, okay, this is what it is. It's also giving the person room to even apologize if they want to. But if I come and I am aggressive or I am passive, I don't talk. If this something in the morning, I don't talk about it. It's there. Oh. It's there in your heart. Those are the things that build resentment. Sometimes some of the things that you are angry with your spouse about, they are not even aware that you're angry, but you are angry, but you did not communicate your anger, you did not communicate the things that they did to you, but you're still angry because you want them to now come and look at your face and know that something is wrong with you. And the way men are wired is that some of them might not even be looking at your face. And if you have one that looks at your face and he comes to ask you, honey, what is it? You will not talk that time to you, say nothing, because you're waiting for him to know by himself that that thing he did in the morning is not good. My sister, you're on your own, like men didn't they? If they ask you and you say you are fine, they go their way. You now come and start interpreting that thing as though they don't love you. They love you, but you just have to learn to communicate. Nobody is a mind reader. You have to say what it is that is in your heart for them to be. And you have, it's not to say it and you're saying it aggressively, you're accusing. You have to say it in an assertive way and allow them to be able to, communicate and respond to you. Okay, so those are the four communication style. Have you seen yourself? Me, I am passive, like predominantly passive, but with knowledge I'm growing and I'm becoming assertive. And then when I miss it, my husband will keep asking, what is it? Say, oh, don't be passive. And then I'll now know, this one is not a mind reader. Let me say it. I'll say it in an assertive way. So when there is a conflict, like I also told us yesterday, also know that in conflict, 69% of the things you people quarrel about will not go. They are perpetual. You will quarrel about those things or you misunderstand yourselves on those things in first year, second year, third year, 20 years. You'll be talking about those things. Things like maybe the way people take their breath, the way people sleep, the way people respond, 69% of those conflicts is perpetual. It will not go away. So when you're doing conflict resolution, don't think about solving it entirely, let it go away. Think about it, how you can manage it. How am I going to manage this thing to be fine and to be okay? And I'm going to role play this thing for you using my marriage so that you understand how this thing actually works out. If you want to resolve conflicts, first of all, you have to be willing not to be right and try to prove another person wrong. If you are trying to be right and prove another person wrong, they will not agree. Look for how you people have a win-win situation. You will win, he will win. But even if he has done, some of us, our husband have cheated on us, they have done things, he's wrong. But when you are talking to him, don't confront him or make him think that what he's doing is wrong. He will never agree. Sometimes he will even hit you on top when he is also wrong. Honestly, when he's also wrong because of the way you are approaching him concerning it. So do it in a win-win situation. So I'm going to role play something that has happened in our marriage, and then I will play this thing, how we solved it, how we managed it. When we got married newly, I used to sleep with light in my room in my father's house. So light on when there is no normal NEPA light, electricity light. I use torch. It will be on all through the night. That's the way we sleep in our house. That's the way my parents sleep. That's the way we all sleep in our various rooms. Then I got married. My husband doesn't sleep with light. So Before I sleep, the light will be on. By the time I wake up in the morning, the light excuse me, like the time I wake up later again, the light is off. Are you following me? Okay. All right. The light is off totally, and I can't see my way maybe to go eat myself, and I'll be a little bit afraid. I'll put it on again. By the time I wake up again, he has put it off. So I put it on, you put it off. I put it on, he put it off. And then we had to resolve it. We had to manage it. And then the first thing you have to do is to, when we were resolving this, is to ask, what do you believe about this issue? And I'll say, I believe that we should have light while we're sleeping. So when you wake up and there is something that is abnormal in your room, you can know. That's what I believe. And then he will not say, I believe we should sleep with light because it helps me to sleep better. That's what he believes. Then the next question is there a story or childhood history behind this for you? And there's a childhood story behind it for me because I grew up in a place where we sleep with light. He too, he grew up in a place where they don't sleep with light. You see that? But if we don't ask this set of 6 questions, we will not know what is happening to us. We'll just be quarreling about light. We will not know that what is happening is beyond the light. Then the next question you ask is, does this relate to your background or past in some way? Yes. Yes, if you have ever woken up in an emergency, or you've maybe wounded yourself because there was no light, it's going to ensure you make up your mind that whenever you're sleeping there will be light. You don't know what has also happened in his past, so you also hear from him. Then you now ask him, why is this thing so important to you? Because if I sleep with that light, it makes me afraid. They will also talk their own. Then you now ask, how does this thing make you feel? It makes me feel afraid, it makes me feel jittery. The other person says it makes me feel relaxed when there is no light. Then they now ask, what is your ideal dream, wish, or need regarding this? You now talk and say, okay, because you are on this other side, me, I'm on this other side. How do we resolve this? You can now say, okay, what we did was that we didn't put out the lights, we didn't leave the light, we got a dimmer light. So we got a green light. When we're going to bed, we'll put off the normal white light, we'll put the green light so I can see. He too, he can also have a darker room. That was how we solved it in our first year of marriage. And then after we got married and we continued, now whether there is light or no light, we are fine. If there is no light, I can sleep. If there is light, he can sleep, because we were able to handle this situation. So just look at, if you can screenshot these 6 questions, that is the conflict resolution framework you can use to resolve any and every conflict. You understand that conflict better. Now let's look at respective disagreement and timing. So you need to understand what type of conflicts resolution person are you. What I mean is that there are conflict avoiders. You avoid conflict. Me, I am that kind of person. I avoid conflict. There are conflict validators, those who bring their issue respectively, but they will not hear from you. They will immediately jump to problem solving. Most men are like this. There is something in their house. They will bring their issue up. They will not want to hear your perspective on that issue. They have jumped to conclusion. They are just to problem solving. If, for example, that light issue came up and my husband and I didn't sit back to really understand the issue, he now came and said, let's use green lights. I might not understand why we should use green light. I'll still be feeling bad. But when I understand that he too, there's a background he's coming from, he understand me too, there's a background I'm coming from, and we arrive at the solution together. We own the solution. So you are not going to be feeling like somebody is handing you something and telling you this is what to do. So this is conflict validators. This is how they behave. And then there is another one, conflict volatiles. These ones are people who are, they express their feelings intensely, very passionately. They want to prove they are right. They want to prove their partners are wrong. Whatever you are, whether you avoid conflict, you validate conflict, or you are volatile, whatever you are, whether passive aggressive together, you can build a good relationship if you use that 6 framework I shared before. you will have a good and a better marriage relationship. This is what we do. The truth is that there was a time my husband and I we had plenty heated misunderstanding. You see that framework I shared with you? That was what we used to solve it. And that framework was developed by John Gottman. Okay. And they have used it a lot on a lot of couples and it has worked. We don't teach what we have not practiced. We've also used it on ourselves and it has worked. So it's something that you can use in your marriage and I'm sure that it will work for you. So how do you disagree in your marriage? Address one issue at a time. Just one issue at a time. When you are one of the things we did in our marriage is that we created how to fight. You know that boxing is a kind of fight, but the boxing has rules, right? So there are things you can do and things you cannot do. But if you don't have fighting rules in your marriage, you will not know what to do and what not to do. I will name some of the rules we created in the way we fight in our home. Number one, no name calling. We will not say you're stupid, we will not say you are this, you are that. No name calling. Number two, no labeling, we will not label each other. Number three, no hitting. We're not going to hit ourselves because we are misunderstanding ourselves, right? Number three is that before we go to talk to someone outside concerning that thing, we will try to resolve it ourselves. You know, there are some conflicts you can't resolve by yourself because you will need a referee. You need someone who can act as a referee. Because if the thing is really heated and you are telling your husband he is wrong, he will not agree. If he's telling you you are wrong, he will not agree. But if you have an external person tell you that okay, this is where you missed it, this is where you missed it, so that person is acting as a referee, you will agree, right? So we have someone who acts like that. We have a marriage mentor. You should get a marriage mentor for yourself, for your marriage. So someone who loves you, someone you trust, someone you know that will not divulge information about your marriage outside or take advantage of you. We have had someone like that even from the time we were dating to this point. So we now agreed in the way we fight that before we reach out to that person, we'll try to solve it ourselves. So when we try to solve it ourselves and we are not making headway, on that note is when we are going to reach out to this person. Another thing we agreed in the way we fight is that we will not talk to our parents, we will not talk to our family, because our parents and our family, they are family, right? But they will take sides and none of them are professional relationship coach. If my husband does things to me, I can forgive him, but if I go and tell my mom might not forgive or forgive easily or forget. They will be remembering you did this to my daughter, you're a bad person. So we said we will not talk to our family concerning it. This is our quarreling constitution. This is how we abide. So, and then we also said to ourselves that we will not be talking about one thing. We will remember what you did 2 years ago. Remember what you did 3 years ago. That was how you said I should leave the front seat so that your mother will sit. Because there's a co-worker that thing has happened. You remember something that happened 3 years ago that maybe you dealt with. He apologized, or even if he didn't deal with it. So we said we'll deal with the issue as it is. We will not go back to bring what has happened in the past. Number two is that we choose a calm private moment. Each time we start talking and it seems as though our voices or we don't seem to agree, we call it off. We stop, we go and cool off, we do other things. Then we now tell ourselves this is the time we'll come back to continue. We come back at so time and we continue. Then number three, we use I feel instead of you always you. So I say I feel that my cooking or the work I do in this house is not appreciated. It's different from saying the work I do in this house, you don't appreciate it. That's your perspective, that's the way you see it, and your perspective is not the only perspective that happened in that marriage. So you need to learn to talk in terms of you and not in terms of the person. That person might be thinking that they are even doing enough for you and you are ungrateful. So when you want to express yourself, you say I feel I am not being appreciated. I feel that I'm not being taken care of. I feel that uh, um, you are not paying attention to me. I feel. You express yourself like that instead of saying you did this, you did that, you did that. Even if you know that's what they did, in communication you say, I feel, this is how it occurred to me, this is how I understood it. It gives the person room to save face. It was my uncle that taught me this. When he does something wrong, I'll come and put it to him that he was wrong. Like me, I know he's wrong, and I'll not allow him to save face. And he told me, honey, you don't do like that. You don't talk to people like that. You just, even if they are wrong, you give them room to save face so that they can even agree that they are wrong. Else, when they are wrong and you're not giving them room to save face, they will not agree they are wrong. They will become defensive. Is there, they know they are wrong, but they will not agree. It's because you're not allowing the room to say it. So you do that by saying I feel. You talk in terms of you. Number four is agree on a pause when things get heated. I've talked about this. These things happen when things get heated. We call it off and then we stop. Avoid bringing up old issues mid argument. Avoid it. If there has been infidelity in the past and you dealt with it and it happens again, don't bring up that past infidelity again. You will be tempted to do it. Please don't do it. Don't bring it up. Don't bring up, no matter how connected they are, don't come and tell them that that's how they are behaving, like their father or their mother, or what they told you that happened in their family. You come and bring it up. No, don't bring such thing up. Deal with the issue at hand. Number two, difficult talks late at night. Not, or you talk in a way that some people wake up at night to talk. Some people say they go in public places where they can maybe not have the privilege of quarreling. Whatever that works with you, find an environment that works with you. Don't use accusation, don't use sarcasm, don't do name calling. You are a cheat, you are this, you are that. No, don't do that. All right. And then walk away without agreeing and return to it. It's better you walk away when you've not finished talking about the issue and then you come back to it later than insisting we have started it, let's finish it. You must not finish it at the same time. Words that you use, the words that heal and the words that destroy. Wives, we need this thing. Oh, this one is really important. I understand why you feel that way. It's better than you never, you always. Please, I was wrong and I am sorry. It's better. Don't say things like I regret marrying you. I should never have married you. Who are you? Are you man enough? Please don't use such words on your husband. It kills him. If he uses that words on you, you still not be okay. Okay, so don't use that on you. Use a lot of I appreciate you, honey, thank you. I appreciate you, honey, thank you. And don't say that's just like you can never change. That's just how you used to do it. And run away now. You have always been running. That's just like you. Please, these words, they destroy. Let's figure this out together. It's better than saying that using silence as a weapon, he leaves the person to themselves. Okay. So find words that heal even when the person is wrong. Like all of these things I'm saying here, I'm not exonerating your husband. I'm not saying he's a saint. I'm not saying he does things better. I'm just saying that this is a better way to communicate as a mature person, as an emotionally mature person. And don't use the things he has told you about his past to judge him. Okay, so let's look at a simple conflict resolution process. So I'm looking at this. Let's see. I hope this is helping us. All right. Are you following? Tell me in the comment section that you are following. Okay, so a conflict. Thank you. You're following. So a simple conflict resolution process that you need is to pause, take a breath before reacting. Your emotions, if you are this kind of person that you finish saying something or you finish doing something and you regret what you have said and you regret what you have done, the only thing you need to do is to take a pause. Do you know, at the heat of the moment, you don't have to say anything, you don't even have to do anything, just take a pause. Some people can say count from 1 to 10. You count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. By the time you get to 10, what you will say at 10 will be a lot different from what you would have said at one. So it's important that you take a pause. You take a pause. Don't always act on your emotions, on how you feel, else you will destroy the things that you are building. You destroy your home. Number two, name it. State the issue plainly without blame. I felt hurt when you left me and went to church. I felt hurt when you left me, you didn't come back to pick me from the office. I felt hurt when you spoke to me that way. I felt disappointed. I felt embarrassed. I felt this way. Name the issue. Don't say you always embarrass me in the public. You always leave me and go to church. You always, please name the issue. Number two, listen fully. Let your spouse respond without interrupting or defending yourself immediately. I used to do this one when we got married newly. When my husband is talking about something, let's say we started talking, he will allow me to say my own. Immediately he starts saying his own, I will cut in. I say, no, 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 that one you said is not true, it's not true, it's not true. I will not allow you to finish saying, I want to correct you. No, 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 it's not true. No, my darling, you don't talk like that. You allow them to finish. If it means you taking pen and writing down those things that he has said, so that when it's your time to talk, you cannot say, honey, this one you said, I don't think it's true. This is how it is. This is how it is. But if you're always interrupting that process at that time that it is happening, it's always because of your emotions and it's not good. It's a work. Don't beat up yourself, right? With all of these things you have learned, just tell yourself that you keep doing it. And I guarantee you, you will follow. You will fly off the handle. You will mistakenly do the things that you know you should not do, but be that person that will say, I will rise up, I will apologize, I will keep going, I will become better. That's the way we do it. So none of us is that perfect. We are a work in progress. So as you have learned this thing, you are trying to apply them. At the point you fail, at the point you miss it, don't stay falling. Rise up and still keep going. Over time you see that you are a better person and you have built a better marriage relationship with your spouse. And number four, resolve and repair. Agree on a next step, apologize where needed, and close the conversation in peace. Some of us cannot say sorry. Some of us, sorry sometimes does not mean that you're 100% wrong. When there's an issue, there is likely to be someone who has a greater blame in that issue, but it doesn't mean that they have all the blame. Okay, so someone can even have 95% blame and the other person has 5% blame. For example, let's say a husband cheated. It's not the wife's problem they cheated, it was a decision they made. Let's leave the fact that there are things that can contribute to a man cheating. There are things a woman can do that can contribute to the man cheating. Yes, we agree, right? But cheating is a decision they made by themselves, so they share a greater blame in it, right? However, when the wife is talking to the husband concerning it, how she speaks to him can make her become wrong. So if you come and you are confronting him, the approach is already wrong. So you are sharing in that blame. Even if it's just 5% that you are sharing in it and they are sharing 95%, start from the one you have missed when you are communicating to him. I'm sorry that the way I spoke to you concerning this thing is not good. I shouldn't have spoken to you no matter what has happened. I shouldn't have spoken to you in that way. I take responsibility and I apologize for it. You see, that's one responsibility you have taken. You will not open the door for the person to now carry their own load on their head. The 95% they need to carry, they will carry it. But because you now say, is it just because of 5% and they are carrying 95%? What have they done? Why am I going to take responsibility? You are not allowing that person to be able to go. So learn to pause, learn to name it, learn to listen fully, and learn to resolve and repair your your um your conversations. So we'll look at these things and then my husband will come up to take us on the roles and responsibilities of a husband. Then I'll come back to finish it up. Now there is what is called the Four Horsemen. It was developed by John Gottman, the Gottman Institute, and it happens a lot. So as a relationship coach, I can see a marriage that will do that will I can see a couple that will divorce and know they can divorce. in that is just a matter of time. I can see a couple that is also unhappy and know that they are unhappy. Even if they are doing uniform and doing this together, I can look at them and know that these people they are not happy even if they are together. You know, there are some homes that are broken, but they are still living together. We say somebody says I came from a broken home, and we think that is a home that they are divorced or that they are living apart. That's a broken home. But there are also some broken homes that they are living together, but they are still broken. Yes. So these are the four husbands. These are the things that we see in a relationship, in a marriage, and we know that this marriage is either going to be unhappy or it's not going to work out in the longer run. Number one is criticism, attacking character. For example, your husband comes back and sees that the kitchen is is packed with dirty plates, and instead of saying, "Honey, why are these plates unwashed?" you say, "Wow, look at how this kitchen is. You are lazy. You're a lazy woman." That's criticism. Because he's saying you are lazy, he's attacking your character, not what is has already been done. Any marriage that has criticism will either be unhappy or that they will not last long. Number two is contempt. Contempt is when you feel that you are better than someone. It happens towards a lot of women. Immediately you start thinking that you are more intelligent than your husband, you will question every decision he makes. You will question it, and you will not question it in a way that is good. You will have contempt in your, like, mockery, eye rolling, the single grade, like you for example, when you tell your husband or suggest something to him, he doesn't do it, he be like, "I dey here now, go and do it, let's see how it will work." I'm not saying no go work. And when it doesn't work, you say, I told you, you don't hear, you don't do this, you don't do that. That's contempt, that's criticism, but it's a higher level of criticism where you are thinking that you're better than the person. If there is criticism and if there is contempt in a marriage, in the way they communicate, they are either unhappy or they will divorce with time. Number three is defensiveness. You give excuse, you explain, or you counter attack without even understanding them. Like as he walked in and said, um you are lazy, the kitchen is full of dirty plates. You say, you are you not lazy, do you wash your sauce? That's counter attack. Okay, so it's defensiveness. And any marriage, any couple that communicates like that, they will totally and definitely be unhappy. Then number four, the last one is stonewalling. You shut down everybody, you shut down everything. You can be there but you're not there. You know, nothing is penetrating, nothing is going out, nothing is coming in. It's stonewalling. So any couple that does that, criticizes, they have contempt towards each other, they are defensive, they stonewall. This couple, they sure, even if they stay married and they don't change these things, they will be very unhappy, or with time they will go their separate ways. So what are the antidotes to this thing? Number one, gentle startup. So instead of, like, don't raise issues with blaming people's character, or labeling them. Instead of saying, you are lazy, don't wash the plates, you can say, "Honey, are you feeling overwhelmed? How have you been working?" Like, talk in terms of you. I've thought about it. Say, "I feel, I think, honey, do you need rest? It looks like you have been working a lot all through the day, because this plate in the sink is showing that you must have been working yourself out." Wow, ooh, gentle startup. You see how the woman will be like, "Oh my goodness, oh my husband, the husband that thinks of me." They cannot start talking to you and then you have a beautiful conversation. But when you start on criticism, everything is shut down. Number two, culture of appreciation. Appreciation is really, really big and important. So what do you like about them? What do you admire in each other? Say it daily. Appreciate your husband daily. Let your husband appreciate you daily. He might not be appreciating you daily, and don't wait for him to do it. Keep doing it. Over time, he will learn from you and he will adopt it and you start doing it. Number three, take responsibility. Own your own part, even a small piece of it. I've talked about it with the issue of cheating. It might be 99% of his problem, but the way you communicated it, you are not sharing 1% blame. Own that 1%, okay? And then self-soothing. Pause and calm your body before returning to the conversation. If you are boiling, as they are talking to you, you are boiling. If you are really really boiling, is a pointer to tell you that you can say, honey, can we come back to this later? I used to do that. Like, I tell my husband, please, I can't continue this conversation now, can we come back later? What the next thing he will not tell me is, when is that later? Tell me the day and the time. So we now say, okay, we are coming back later by 7 p.m. on Sunday. And then you now say, okay, you have time to think and reflect, and we'll go our separate ways. And then we come back at a social time. Because it will tell you that if we don't fix the time or the date, we'll come back. We might not come back to resolve this issue. We'll still sweep it under the carpet. And then another thing will come up, and there is something that is unresolved that we have not dealt with. So anytime I need to soothe myself, I want to leave that conversation. He does it too. And whoever that wants to leave is the person that will bring up the conversation next. So if you are the one who is saying let's quit, like let's stop this conversation now, you have to be the one to say, okay, this is when I'm going to bring it up for us to be able to continue the conversation. So finally, we have intimacy. Okay. So before we continue with intimacy, I want to bring my husband up to have him come share with us on the I want him to come and share with us on the roles and responsibilities of a husband. I want us to really, really understand that we need to understand who a husband is, and his roles, his responsibilities, and so that you understand who he is first. Even if you don't know, um, even if, how do I put it now? Even if you're already married and you're unable to change your husband, but if you have a time that your husband can talk to you concerning anything, right? You can talk to him concerning it. So I want to bring him up. Give me a few minutes to share his slides so he can come up. Okay. So how far? How has he been? How has he been for us? Okay. So this is his slide. All right. So how has he been? How has he been? I want to hear from us. So give me 1 minute and he will come and join us up here. Thank you. So roles and responsibility of a husband is important. We know it. Some of us, our husbands are even doing better than we think he's doing. So you know. So you have something to acknowledge him. So I'll step away for 1 minute. You can also stand up, stretch your body, stretch. If you need to grab water and drink. And my husband is going to come wrap it up for us. Thank you.
So go on. You say. Okay. Okay. So if you're around, can I see on the chat box? Let me see. Let me be sure that we are around. Hello. Okay. Uh, can you see my slide? Hello, Nikki. Please come. Yes, I'm trying to. Yeah, this slide. That's what I'm trying to.
No, that's not it. Like this is like
Yeah, this slide. Okay. All right. I get it. Okay. So good evening, everybody. Um, I hope I will be able to use 30 minutes to cover something very substantial. My name is Timothy, and we're going to be taking the true roles and responsibilities of a husband. This should be like a 1 week topic, but I'm going to try to see if I can cover it in 30 minutes. But it should be like a 1 week or so. So, so we're going to liken a husband to, like, we're going to liken the family to a company where you have the president of the company, we have that is the CEO, and we have the vice president, and then we have the board members, right? So where the vice president of the company, when we are talking about, these are the owners too, and they are still working in the company. So the CEO, who is the board chairman, also is the man, the husband. Now the vice president is the wife who is assisting the man. Now what's happening here? The family is an institution. So see it like a company whereby these are the offices. Now, whoever fits into the role or the office of a husband has duties and responsibilities that accrue to him as the president. And that's how you should see your family from now. After this meeting, see your family as a company, and this company is an institution, and this institution should have rules and regulation, do's and don'ts, the things that must happen and the things that must not happen on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. This is very, very important. There are things that must happen on a daily basis. There are things that must happen on a weekly basis. There are things that must happen on a monthly basis. Now, sometimes even on a yearly basis. So, let me give you an example. Every Sunday, we use Sundays as a time to do a meeting and check what has happened within the week. Where did we get it wrong? Where did we get it right? Now, the kind of person you have as the CEO of your own family is very, very important. Remember, the wife, who is the vice president, has the responsibility to choose, because that office you accepted before you became the vice president. You accepted. So the vice president of Nigeria is an office that the vice president he accepted to be. They told him, will you be see what we want to do? And he accepted. So you are accepting to be a wife because you have read through the rules and the responsibility, and you say this is something I can do. Or I will push myself so I can learn and fit into the office. Because nobody knows how these things are done until we get into it. And then everybody is now learning on the job too. No matter what we know, there are still a lot of things to know. So let's progress. So we are using a biblical and practical framework for the modern family. Okay, so I want us to confirm that you're seeing my screen, please. Let's confirm that you're seeing my screen. I want to I want to be able to see what we're writing on the chat board so that I can know that we are following. Hello? Are we there? Okay, now um so I said the husband is a CEO, and see, if you see the family table, please make sure. Okay. I see your chat. Thank you so much. It helps me know that you're following. So if you see the picture, you see that there is a father, the mother, and then the children are there. The children are the board members. Now, this the father, the husband here, because I'm talking about the responsibilities and the duties of the husband. Now, the husband is the CEO, and see what happens here. He casts the long term. So he cast the long term vision. He is the vision bearer of that company. He is the vision bearer. So he shares the vision with this woman, and she says, "Okay, I can fit in. This is something I think I can help do. This is something I think I can be part of." So he shares this vision of the home, and then the home culture, and holds ultimate responsibility for direction. That's his role. The direction and the vision of the family is the responsibility of the husband. Who, wherever every member of that family ends up with, that man is either responsible. So if you look at the story of the Garden of Eden, when God came, he was asking, he wanted to come and see what was happening. Who was he calling? He was calling the man, because that's the person in charge. That's the person he kept responsible for what's happening there. So he was calling this man, "Where are you?" So when God saw the chaos that was around, God was so much interested in the place of the man. "Where are you? This thing I've handed over to you. How far?" So the man is responsible and answerable to God. Now, the wife, the vice president. So she is the chief advisor, not implementer. You are the chief advisor. So you advise, you don't um what's the word right now, you don't kind of use force or try to manipulate. You advise. So you are an equal partner, but you have a different office. The offices are not the same. You people are equal, but the offices are not equal. The responsibilities are not the same. Everybody have different levels of authority. Someone is answerable to the other person. This other person is answerable to the other person. So one thing that must be, that a husband must provide, must, is a family constitution. I want us to write it down. Family constitution. Put this in the comment section. There must be a family constitution. The do's and the don'ts. I remember when my wife was sharing about the things, the rules. If we call it the rules of engagement, there are things that must be done and things that must not be done. So in a war, when they are fighting war, like right now, America and Iran, they are fighting war. There are rules of engagement. There are some things that cannot be done. Some things must not be done when you're fighting. So what's fight? When you're fighting, when you're quarreling, when you are not okay together, there must be ways of expressing your resentment. There must be ways of expressing your grievances. There are things you must not say. There are things you must not say. There are things you must not say. There are names you must not call. Those are rules of engagement. I has to be written down. It is the responsibility of the man to come together, even if he doesn't remember. Your this advisor should say, "Please, can we create something like this? How do you see it?" Because your responsibility is to advise, is to influence. You suggest things and then hope that they are taken, hope that they are implemented, because it is him ultimately that will carry those things out. So, is someone getting blessed already? Is someone's eyes opening? There must be constitution. It's called family constitution. Please, today I want someone to make that resolution. I am going to create a family constitution for my family. There must be. Okay, for example, if you come to Nigeria, now Nigeria has a constitution. If you go to other nations, they have different constitutions, which are different from the constitution of Nigeria. They may want to achieve things that are the same, things that are similar, but the constitution things written are different. So that's why there are no two families that are the same. So we come, we say that there are written and unwritten constitutions. So what we want to make sure is that most of the things that are done are intentionally crafted. That you sit and think about it. Where will this thing lead us to in the next 20 years? Where will this thing lead us to in the next 50 years? Who do we want these children to become? You craft things down that when we practice it over time, these things will shape these people to become, will shape us to become like this in the future. And when we do and see that this thing is not getting us to that point, we change. That's why we say that we amend the constitution. Is someone's eyes opening? So, children, the board members, what's their role? You keep them informed, you carry them along why these things are being done, so that everybody sit down together. I know there's one of my senior friends, he sit down together and decide with his children. If you see this thing, see this has to be done this way. And then if this thing is not done this way, the next time you break this thing, what do I do to you? So the child says, okay, daddy, the next time I do this thing, flog me four on my bum bum. Say, okay. Remember, this child is part of the decision. Has contributed to making that decision. The next time, he knows the child will break that rule. The child breaks the rule. He said, go and bring the cane. The child by himself goes to bring the cane. He is going to be used to be punished. And he says, how what did we agree the last time? He said, next time I do this thing, I should be flogged for. So I'm going to flog you for. Yes. So the child understands why they are doing. It's not the one that you're flogging someone. They don't even understand what you're doing. They don't understand why you're doing what you're doing. So now if you look at the picture, you see that this man is kneeling down, serving. The rule here is service, servant leadership. So the role of the husband is that of leadership. And leadership is not imposing, it is service. It is service. It is service. Service. So you see, his service is so much power under control, and I'm willing to use it to serve you. I'm willing to use it to make you better. Now, influence over control. So true authority is earned through consistent character and love, not demand of creation. You are not demanding that they do things. In as much as there are times, remember that in leadership, there are times you are made to do things that you don't want to do. Because the leadership knows that this is where we want to get to. Whether you like, it's not about how I feel like doing it or not. Everybody, this is where we are going. Oh yeah, let's move. So, and because we have agreed, so this is everybody, we're moving there, whether you're crying or not, let's go there. But when you look back and you, after 2 3, after 1 year, after 6 months, you say, oh, thank you because you helped me to achieve this. So that's the role of the man, the role of serving, servant leadership, serving. So the next thing here is the chief servant. The man is the chief servant. He is the chief servant. Now listen, every man, responsibility of every man is to make sure that whoever your wife become in the next 10 years is your responsibility. Whoever those children become, to the to the detail of who their career choice. Not this one they wake up and they choose anything. In fact, this one that we are even waking up and choosing things is because someone did not do what they're supposed to do. When you live in a royal family, there are certain things that even before you don't wake up and start deciding what you want to do. You don't wake up and decide certain courses. In the royal family, there are certain things, there is a way a king has to be trained. If they know this one is supposed to be the next king, this is the protocol. This is how they should be trained. This is how they behave. This is how they do. There are people that teach you how to behave because they understand the responsibility and the role ahead of you requires that the king should know how to carry himself. So the responsibility of the father is to look into the future and say, this person is supposed to be a king. This my son is supposed to be in this place. And this is the script. You watch that boy, and by revelation, and by watching that boy, and by asking God certain things, by understanding and by knowledge, you see this boy is supposed to be someone like this, and you are exposing them in that area. So they don't just wake up. This one we are waking up when you are having vision at 35. This one that now you are or you're 20, you don't even know your purpose. It's because there's someone that's supposed to have been able to shape you, help you to understand these things before you became 10. But because these people don't understand that this is their role. Hello, is someone following what's happening here? Please, I want to make sure that people are following. Am I just talking to myself? Like I don't have time again. Oh, okay. Please let's put it on comment section if we are following. Put it on comment section. Okay. So I think this is something that we need to continue. Our time is almost up. Okay. Um, there are protocols of training kings, and it is the responsibility and the duty of the father, the husband, to craft out people. In fact, the wife should be 10 times better than you met her after 5 years. Your wife should be 10 times better. Not just your wife, even you yourself. It's not the one that she's getting better, you're not improving. Is that when we look back, we see that we are 10 times better than when we started. That's what she said. Follow you was not a mistake because she has seen how far that you are, the leadership, the effect of the leadership. And how does that happen? People follow you because they see that you're serving them. That's how they follow. So the next thing here is sacrifice, not dominance. Sacrifice. All these things, I'm just rushing. See, each of these bullet points are things that should be handled in. We'll come for one day and we are handling sacrifice, and we'll sit down and talk about sacrifice for complete 2 hours talking about sacrifice. You see different aspect of it, different aspect of selflessness, where you are not trying to show. It's not about you. See, let me give you an example. Jesus came here to die, and by the time he came here to die to redeem the world, everything Jesus did was to die. That's it, sacrifice enough. Death is already sacrifice enough. But when Jesus finished dying, at the end of it, every power was also given back to Jesus. So by the time you die to yourself so that your family will live, they give back the glory to you. Say, that's my father. It is my father that trained me. My father taught me. Your wife will be referencing you. My husband did not allow me to do this. My husband taught me this. My husband did this one. My husband this one. And my husband will everywhere because the glory always comes back to that one that sacrificed. It is foolish women who will be the man sacrifices and then she comes back to hurt the man. It's foolish people that do that. And that person usually doesn't end well because sacrifice has reward in the now, in the world of now, and even after. So I think I'll be stopping here so that maybe next time we'll continue. But I want to know how to this point it has been impactful to you. So the major role of the man is to die to self, is to die to what he wants, is to die so that his family will live. That's the role of the man. His role is to die, not literally, not saying literally. His role is to die to self. His role is to be the person that people are trampling on, people are standing on their shoulder to push ahead his wife, his children, in every aspect. That's why he doesn't eat until everybody eats. He doesn't say, give me, serve me first. That's why he wants to make sure that every person is okay. So he's not thinking for himself first. You know, if you're in a situation where your husband is thinking for himself first, there are ways to change things around. But it's not something you do by demanding it as a wife. There are ways some of these things are done. You know. So I want us to ask questions. Maybe next time we'll continue from growth and mentorship because everything that is learned, everything that people become is learned and is taught. Who you are today is a product of training, and who you will become tomorrow will be a product of training and mentorship and process that will help you to become. So I hope that this has been helpful and impactful. Um, I want us to. If you have a question, you can ask it so that we can call it a night. But I want to ask: has it been helpful? Has it been helpful? Has it been helpful to anybody here? You know, I just want to ask: has it been helpful? Has it been helpful? So I just want to give us one assignment. Please go and create a family constitution. Go and create a family constitution, please. create one, create a family constitution. At least 10 things that should be right guiding your family. Okay. So since we don't have a question, I'll take my leave. Thank you so much for the opportunity. God bless you.
So what do we say to this husband of mine? We say thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming to teach us. So we have an assignment, and that assignment is to create a family constitution. And we're going to leave us to we're going to have well, we will share when we're going to. I've not done intimacy. We have not handled intimacy because there's no time. This is almost 9:30, and we're supposed to end at 9:30. So I'm not going to handle I'm not going to handle intimacy. We're going to go, and then I'll tell us when we converge again. We are supposed to be learning every day. Okay, so we'll plan on how we're going to be having our weekly sessions. So imagine that we come one day and we're talking about intimacy, we'll talk about sex, because intimacy is not just about sex. If you're angry with your husband, even if you open your legs, you are not intimate with him. You are just having bodily contact. Okay, so intimacy is not just about sex. We'll take our time and deal with intimacy, how we will talk about sex itself. We'll also talk about other areas that are close to intimacy. However, also remember that we are done. So we'll be able to talk about roles and responsibilities, red flags, normal marital challenges, conflict resolution, communication, and we're going to carry intimacy to the next time we'll go live. There's an assignment, and that assignment is to create a family constitution. So by tomorrow, we'll give you more information on how you are going to create that family constitution. We'll also give you time to create your family constitution, and we'll also give you the time to come back to submit it. You will frame it and keep it in your house, your family constitution. You create it, you frame it, and you keep it in your house. How people visit you, how visitors, the prayer time, all of those things are going to be in your family constitution. And it's not something you're going to create alone. If you can have the help of your spouse, it's going to be beautiful to do that. So thank you everyone for joining. Help me share this. Go back to the WhatsApp group and tell them what you have gotten in the WhatsApp. Okay. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and watch other videos. We're going to be dropping the video for the week sometime this week. We will keep on getting our daily newsletters, and we'll now start having our meetings where we come together to learn together. Thank you so much for joining. I can see happiness, I can see blessing, I can see everybody that joined. I can see you. So by tomorrow, we'll give us direction on how to create our family constitution. When we give assignments, we'll also give a way you can submit your assignment, and we'll give the time frame for it. Thank you, all of you, and see you next time. Bye. Yeah.